20 weird facts about the eagle has landed you didn't know. Before we begin, understand this. The eagle has landed is not about Nazis winning. It's about how order collapses when perfection meets chance. This is a film about planning, loyalty, moral contradiction, and the terrifying truth that history sometimes survives by accident. Let's begin. Fact 1. The film is based on a mission that could have changed world history. The plot feels impossible. It wasn't. The film is based on a novel by Jack Higgins that asked one terrifying question. What if Hitler had tried to assassinate Winston Churchill on British soil? Not metaphorically, not symbolically, physically. The novel was written with such logistical detail that intelligence experts admitted the plan was theoretically viable. That's what makes the film unsettling. Not the Nazis, not the violence, the fact that the idea wasn't absurd. It was almost reasonable. Fact 2. The film portrays Nazis as professionals, not monsters, on purpose. This was controversial. The film shows German soldiers as disciplined, intelligent, and human, not cartoon villains. Why? Because director John Sturges wanted the audience to feel something dangerous. Respect without agreement. The film doesn't justify Nazism. It strips away caricature. By showing competence, loyalty, and internal conflict, the film forces viewers to confront an uncomfortable truth. Evil doesn't always look chaotic. Sometimes it looks organized. That choice disturbed audiences and made the tension unbearable. Fact 3. Colonel Kurt Steiner's character is a moral contradiction. Colonel Steiner isn't heroic, but he isn't cruel either. He despises Hitler, he obeys orders, he protects his men. He is loyalty without belief. Michael Caine plays Steiner with restraint. No speeches, no redemption arc, just duty carried out in silence. Steiner doesn't believe in the mission. He believes in doing it well. That distinction makes him one of the most unsettling protagonists in war cinema. Fact 4. The film's villain isn't Churchill, it's time. The enemy isn't British intelligence. It isn't the resistance. It isn't even betrayal. It's time. Every moment the mission continues, variables stack up. Weather, human error, unexpected witnesses. The plan isn't doomed by morality, it's doomed by reality. The film understands something many war stories ignore. The more perfect a plan is, the more fragile it becomes. Fact 5. The film treats fate as random, not heroic. There's no destiny in this story, no prophecy, no chosen ones, no narrative protection. The mission fails not because someone is braver, but because someone happens to be there. A child, a villager, a moment. The film suggests something chilling. History doesn't survive because it's righteous. It survives because enough things go wrong at the right time. Fact 6. The parachute landing was filmed like a military exercise. The nighttime parachute drop isn't stylized, it's clinical. Director John Sturges insisted on realism, long cakes, limited music, wide shots that emphasize distance and vulnerability. Military consultants warned that airborne landings were among the most dangerous operations of the war. The film doesn't romanticize it. Paratroopers drift apart, some land badly, equipment fails. There's no triumph in arrival, only relief that no one died yet. That realism unnerved audiences more than explosions ever could. Fact 7. The village is the film's most dangerous character. The English village looks peaceful. That's the trap. Its narrow streets, hedgerows, and tight-knit community make secrecy impossible. Everyone notices everything. A new accent, an unfamiliar face, a door opening at the wrong hour. The mission fails not because of soldiers, it fails because civilians exist. The film highlights a brutal truth of covert warfare. The closer you get to ordinary life, the more exposed you become. Normality is the enemy of secrecy. Fact 8. The resistance character represents moral instability. Jenny, the Irish resistance contact, isn't a hero in the traditional sense. She's motivated by ideology, resentment, and personal grievance. Her cooperation isn't rooted in clear loyalty. It's transactional and emotional. That makes her unpredictable. The film doesn't condemn her. It shows how war blurs alignment. People don't always choose sides out of virtue. They choose them out of history, pain, and opportunity. That ambiguity unsettles the mission more than any weapon. Fact 9. The film refuses to make the British look omniscient. Unlike many World War II films, British intelligence isn't portrayed as all-knowing. They miss clues, they underestimate risk, they react late. Victory isn't the result of superior intellect. It's the result of interruption. Someone notices something small. Someone asks a question. Someone doesn't look away. The film suggests security isn't about brilliance. It's about attention. Fact 10. Suspense comes from waiting, not action. Notice how little gunfire there is. Most of the tension comes from watching, listening, waiting. Conversations are whispered, movements are cautious. The threat is constant but invisible. The film understands that fear doesn't spike during action. It accumulates during silence. Every delay increases the chance of exposure. Every second alive increases the chance of failure. Fact 11. The film treats courage as tragic, not noble. In most war films, courage is rewarded. Here, it's punished. The German commandos are brave, disciplined, and loyal to each other, and every one of those qualities pushes them closer to death. They don't panic, they don't retreat, they don't break formation, they proceed. The film suggests something deeply unsettling. In a flawed plan, professionalism doesn't save you, it destroys you efficiently. Fact 12. Steiner knows the mission is lost before anyone else. Steiner realizes the truth early, not emotionally, tactically. He sees the cracks, too many witnesses, too many compromises, too many variables. But he continues anyway. Why? Because the mission isn't about success anymore. It's about finishing with honor. Steiner doesn't believe in victory. He believes in completing what he started, even when the outcome is clear. That makes him tragic, not heroic. Fact 13. The film suggests obedience can be more dangerous than betrayal. No one truly betrays the mission. That's the point. Everyone follows orders. Everyone plays their role. Everyone does what they're supposed to do. And that's exactly why the mission collapses. The film offers a brutal critique of blind obedience. When no one questions the order itself, failure becomes systematic. The most dangerous words in the film aren't shouted, they're accepted quietly. Fact 14. The final act reframes who the enemy really is. By the climax, the enemy isn't no longer Britain, it's exposure. Every shot fired draws attention. Every movement confirms suspicion. The British response isn't dramatic, it's procedural. Roadblocks, containment, time. The film shows how modern security works, not through heroics, but through coordination and patience. The mission ends in closure. Fact 15. The ending shocks because it refuses romance. There's no escape, no last-minute reversal, no moral victory. The commandos are eliminated not with hatred, but with necessity. The film doesn't celebrate their deaths. It records them. That restraint is what shocked audiences. The mission fails quietly, and history continues uninterrupted. Fact 16. The film suggests history is protected by accident, not destiny. Most war films insist history survives because it must. This one disagrees. Churchill isn't saved by brilliance. Britain isn't saved by heroism. The Allies aren't saved by moral superiority. They're saved because a child notices something. A villager becomes suspicious. A delay compounds. The film argues something deeply uncomfortable. History continues not because it's righteous, but because enough things go wrong at the right time. That idea lingers long after the credits.
Fact 17. The film was disturbing because it felt plausible. Audiences weren't shaken by violence, they were shaken by possibility. Everything in the film feels achievable. The disguises, the logistics, the infiltration. Nothing relies on fantasy. That realism forced viewers to confront a chilling thought. If this almost worked, what else nearly did? The film doesn't reassure, it unsettles. Fact 18. The movie quietly redefined World War II villains. Before this film, Nazis in cinema were often exaggerated monsters. After it, portrayal shifted, not towards sympathy, but toward competence. The film doesn't humanize ideology, it humanizes process, and that made future war films more restrained, more procedural, more uncomfortable.
Evil didn't need theatrics. It only needed structure. Fact 19. Over time, the film became a cult study in failure. The Eagle Has Landed didn't become legendary because of victory. It became legendary because of collapse. Military analysts, film scholars, strategy enthusiasts, they revisit the film not to admire the plan, but to study where it fractures. It's a rare war film remembered for how things go wrong instead of how they go right. That honesty gave it longevity. Fact 20. The final truth. This film is about how thin the line really is. This is the most important fact of all. The Eagle Has Landed isn't asking, what if the Nazis won? It's asking, how close did we come? And the answer is never comforting. The film reminds us that stability isn't guaranteed, that order survives through vigilance, randomness, and constant attention. History isn't armored, it's exposed, and sometimes it survives by luck. The Eagle Has Landed isn't a story about war, it's a story about near misses, about how the world keeps going not because it's secure, but because enough people notice when something feels wrong. If this documentary made you uneasy, if it made history feel fragile instead of inevitable, if it stayed with you longer than expected, subscribe now for more deep-dive film documentaries that explore the moments where cinema reveals how close reality came to breaking. Because the most frightening stories aren't about what happened, they're about what almost did.